Hello everyone, it is April. Today I'm going to do a 5-star prediction list here. This is a TBR. I've got 5 books right beside me that I really think could be 5-star reads. Creeping closer to 15,000 subscribers on this channel, and I am doing a $150 Amazon gift card giveaway. All you have to do to enter is be a subscriber, leave a comment on this video, and like this video. Stick around until the end of this video and I'm going to get into more detail about the giveaway itself and how you can win. One of these videos before and I don't even remember what I had on that list. I don't know what I've read, what I haven't, but I've got a little stack here of books that I would like to get to sooner rather than later, and I want to share them with you. I really think they're going to be 5 stars. So you know what? I'm going to go through the list. I'm also going to read the first line to see if the 5-star read prediction might also be accompanied with a 5-star first line. You never know. We could be very lucky. The first book is The Blind Assassin by Margaret Atwood. It's been a little while since I've read a Margaret Atwood. I did a rereading of The Handmaid's Tale while I was pregnant with Nora, and that was a while ago, guys. The Blind Assassin follows a woman named Iris. Her sister died dramatically and suddenly just after World War II ended, when her sister drove a car off a cliff or a bridge. Something dramatic and horrendous. This follows Iris looking back on her life. She is an older woman. I think she's in her 80s, she's 82, and she's looking back on her life, and there's an affair that I think she had with a married man when she was young, and she's looking back on her family's history, her own personal history, and I really do love when books do this, and Margaret Atwood is such a gorgeous writer that I just have a feeling I will love it. So let's read the first line and see if that's also a 5-star first line. The bridge. 10 days after the war ended, my sister Laura drove a car off a bridge. That's a 5-star first line, 100%. Wow. Next is Nikki French's The Lying Room. So you guys know how much I have adored Nikki French. I loved the whole Frida Klein series. Beneath the Skin is now my favorite thriller ever. So I just have a good feeling that I'm also going to love this one. Not that it'll replace Beneath the Skin. That, I don't imagine that. So in this book, we meet a woman named Neve Connolly. She is having an affair. What is going on with affairs in these books? I don't know. Weird. Anyway. She's having an affair, and I think she and this guy that she's having an affair with own an apartment together, rent an apartment, something along those lines, and they meet and do their thing. Anyway, she arrives at the apartment and finds him dead. And instead of, doing the normal thing, like calling the police, she moves the body. She disposes of the body because the secret of hers having an affair can't get out. That sounds so disturbing and weird and just like a bad decision. But I think it could be very, very good. So let's read the first line of The Lying Room. When Neve pulled up the blinds, the kitchen sprang into life like a theater set, empty and waiting for the familiar show to begin. I wouldn't say that's a 5-star first line, but I have a good feeling about it though. I do. Next, we've got another creepy one. This is a horror book, a horror gothic-y book. This is Mexican Gothic by Silvia Moreno Garcia. This follows a woman in the 50s. Her cousin has gone off and married a wealthy man. She's gone to move in with him in his beautiful home. And she gets a letter in the mail from this cousin, and the letter is dire. The letter is saying, this is not what I expected. You have to come and get me. This isn't good. This isn't good. And so our main character goes to save her cousin, and she gets there and the house is weird and the people in the house are weird. I've heard mixed things about this at this point. I waited so long, and I don't know why I've waited so long to read it. But at this point, I've heard very mixed reviews of this book. And so I don't know where I'm going to fall, but I just feel like I'm going to love it. I do. It's got a gothic element. It's right in the title. It's horror. Yes, yes. So let's read the first line of Mexican Gothic. The parties at the two nuns' house always ended unquestionably late, and since the hosts enjoyed costume parties in particular, it was not unusual to see China's poblanas with their folkloric skirts and ribbons in their hair arrive in the company of a harlequin or a cowboy. Incredibly atmospheric first line. I am sucked in right away, and that definitely sucks me in. I wouldn't say it's a 5-star first line, but very atmospheric. Like, you get a vibe for the setting right away, which is hard to do. Okay. Moving on is a book that is not coming out until June, but it's by Kristen Mangan, and you guys know how much I love Tangerine. It's one of my favorite books of all time, and this is her latest book called Palace of the Drowned. This follows a writer who has had major success and major failure. I think the first book that she came out with was like a glowing success. Everyone loved it. Critics loved it. Readers loved it. And then the subsequent books that she's come out with haven't had as much love. And as a result, she decides to leave. She's had the failure. She's also had like a public kind of breakdown. And she's decided to leave to go to Venice for a little break. Unfortunately, she decides to go to Venice just as a Venice flood happens. This actually happened in 1966. A flood took over Venice, and I don't know anything about the history of that, but I'm sure I'll learn a lot about it in here. And so it's not the most lovely vacation of her life. She also happens to meet a woman named Frankie, who happens to be her biggest fan and follows her around. And I think there's tension between these two women, and I love that she does that so well. In Tangerine, there was tension between two women and just awkwardness. You don't know what the other person's intentions are. She does it masterfully. I just have a good feeling about Palace of the Drowned. I think I might want to read this at the beginning of summer. Now the question is, do I read the first line of the prologue or the first line of chapter 1? I don't know. Let's read the first line of chapter 1. Is that right? We'll read both. That's what we're going to do. Please, everyone. Rome, 1966. Prologue. Outside the Roma Termini station, she came to an abrupt halt. Not a 5-star first line. Let's see if chapter 1 has a 5-star first line. Venice, 1966. She was on her way to the Rialto market, hoping to buy some sepioline from one of the local fishmongers, despite the fact that it was November and therefore not really the season for them, when she felt someone grab her by the wrist. Oh, see, that ended up being more of a 5-star first line. Someone grabbing her by the wrist. Is it a good thing or is it a terrifying thing? I like that first line. Okay, last but not least is a writer. I have 2 of her books on my shelves. I have read none of her, and I know that I'm going to love her. I just know I'm going to love Evie Wyld. So this one is The Bass Rock, and this follows 3 different women in 3 different time periods. We follow a woman, Sarah, who's accused of being a witch and is fleeing for her life. We follow Ruth just after World War II. She's just entering a new marriage and she's getting to know the area. I think there's some oddness in the area. And then we follow Viv, like 60 years after that, who goes to live in the house that Ruth lived in and is actually going through her things. I don't know if they're related or not. It's meant to be unsettling. I think that's what Grace from GK Reads said, was that it was quite unsettling. I just have a good feeling about Eve Wilde. Okay, so I'm going to read the first line. I was 6, and just the two of us, my mother and I, took Bowie for a walk along the beach where she and Dad grew up. The shore, a mix of black rock and pale, cold sand. It's not a 5-star first line for me, but I still think it's gonna be a 5-star read. So I might actually pop these on like a separate section of my bookshelf to try and ensure that I pick it up or pick these books up in a hurry, because I think that I'll enjoy them. The only one that I'm nervous about, if I'm being honest, is the Atwood, because it's big. It's big. Let's see how many pages is this? I get so nervous. Oh, it's only 518. I can do that. I've read bigger books. Anyway, those are my 5-star predictions. I would love to know in the comments below if you have any 5-star predictions on your TBR that you'd like to get to fairly soon. I would love to know. Also, have you read any of these and were they 5 stars for you? That's an even better question. Let me know. Fingers crossed they were all wonderful to you. I will chat with you soon. Bye, guys. All right, with 15,000 subscribers just around the corner, this is your chance to win a $150 Amazon gift card. It's in Canadian because I am Canadian. And I hope that one of you will be able to buy all sorts of lovely books from your wish list with it. Now, in order to win, you need to first be subscribed to this channel, like this video, and also leave a comment in the comments below. After we hit 15,000 subscribers, I am going to pick a random video, randomize the comments, and pick a winner. So the more videos you watch, the more comments you leave, the more chances that you are going to have to win. Good luck to all of my bookish friends out there.